Hey everybody, just want to do a quick walk around in my Sprinter van. It's 2016 standard roof, 4-wheel drive. Built out as like an adventure van, is what they're calling them now. It's we had kids for road trips. We'd go camping on the weekends occasionally. I could haul dirt bikes with it. Originally bought it as like a moto van. I got into the moto van thing. I had a couple vans before this, and 4-wheel drive came out and Sprinters in 15 and really wanted one. This is a 16. I didn't order it, but ended up the dealer had one. Somebody ordered and they backed out on it, and I got lucky and got it. So just plain cargo van. I've had it 6 years now, so it's gone through a few different setups. I'll show you what I got currently, what we found worked best for us. So the outside, I added the CR Lawrence T-vent window. I added a max fan on the roof. I have LED lights, Hella 6-inch LED. I have on the van compass floating mount. Hood is plasti dipped. That's held up well. Thought about vinyl, but I did it probably 5 years ago, and I just touched it up, had a few little nicks. I'm actually getting ready to sell the van, but definitely gonna miss it. But so we got a newborn and not really going to do any camping this year. Figured it was a good time to sell it. I will build another one. Not sure if it will be a Sprinter or a Transit, but I like the Sprinter. I just don't like how there's not that many dealers. I mean, over an hour away from a dealership, so it's been at the dealer definitely its fair share of time, so it's kind of annoying to drive that far versus there's a Ford dealer in every town, so yeah, that's basically the benefit of the Transit, and they do make them all-wheel drive now. 285 70 17 on method wheels. Those are basically a 33 fit, no rubbing. They will occasionally rub, like if you're like turning into a driveway and you're turned just right and you hit a bump, it'll rub a little, but no issues. I will start with the back here. Doors are wide open, so I have a spare tire mount. So this side door will only open that far. It's not an owl van, but it's the same thing. I just made my own, so I just copied his. For the price he was getting for his, it was a little excessive. It's pretty easy to make. Just mounts to the hinges. Use a sway bar end length. That's off a 2003 Honda Accord. It's about the right length, and I just made some brackets. Go through where the magnet was. I have a backing plate to stiffen it up. These pivots are actually leaf spring hangers from AutoZone. They have a nice bushing in there. So instead of buying bushings that were, made for making spare tire carriers, I just did that, and then I welded it. Had some scrap metal laying around. I have nuts welded to the backside so I can thread in with the lug nuts. And then I have a bolt through on the top. I don't put a nut on it or a lug nut. That helps hold it in place, because you guys know how the Sprinter lug nuts are. They're bolts, so you gotta have two people if you didn't have that. Inside, I have the bed. The bed is set to fit mountain bikes underneath. I can't tell you the height, but it'll fit a mountain bike with the front tire off. I didn't screw around with fork mounts or anything like that. I have L-track right here. I wish I had a bike here to show you, but I have these L-track fittings. They have a pretty big, maybe like a 2-inch ring. Slide handlebar through one side and then slide it through the other side. So a ring on each side of the handlebar, dropper post up, can't go anywhere. Not like you're tying down 500 pounds, it's a 30-pound mountain bike. So once the dropper post goes up, there's really nowhere it can go. L-track in the floor, flush mount. This is your standard L-track. So that holds the panels on, along with, I do have button head, various spots. Those go into plus nuts. Everything's attached with plus nuts, so everything's removable. You got to get behind there to run some wires. 1/2-inch plywood, indoor, outdoor carpet, glued. It's nice. That really deadens the sound. There's poly iso insulated with 1/2-inch, and some places, like where the windows, you can get 2. Can't remember if it was 1 or 2. Roof, you can get 2. And then in behind all the crevices, you get 1 or 2, depending on the spot. I use Great Stuff foam to stick it to the wall, to stick it together, to fill around the outside. It also has sound deadening to the large panels. quiets it down. Anywhere where there's exposed metal, with the exception of the fenders, I glued the indoor-outdoor carpet right onto it with 3M 90 spray glue. It's real strong. Never had any problems with it coming out. I did not put sound deadening on here. Here's why. Wait for the car to go by. I mean, that's a thud. You don't need sound deadening on stuff like this. It already is. So you don't. Some people do that, but it's unnecessary. Coin mat, 3/4 plywood. It's held down with the L-track, with the factory tie downs, with the factory seat bases. Cinch it down. The L-track is glued. Not the L-track. The coin mat is glued to the floor. This net's handy. Just for, you know, smaller, lighter things. You can put stuff back here and it's not going to go sliding around, and you can just, you know, carabiner, unclip it. The bed, 2 panels. I just have these turnbuckles. That holds it down in place. It sits on aluminum angle iron. I welded this to kind of just to stiffen it. I don't even think you'd need that. That's attached with plus nuts only on the ends. That's because this is over the start of the window, so there's nothing to attach to in the middle. So I have a support that rests on the L-track. So the L-track is actually, I had factory L-track in the same place, but I got my own now with the panels, and that's the factory location. That's kind of the rib there below the window. So that's why I couldn't attach it in the middle and have the support, whatever. This height is set for mountain bikes. If you didn't have mountain bikes, you could make some brackets and sit it right on the L-track and be done with it. But bed's 3/4 plywood, and that will span the width of this van without sagging. Maybe just a little sag, but I wrapped it in. This is aluminum angle iron that is 1/4 inch thick, 1 inch. It's about right for 3/4 inch plywood, and welded it on the corners. You know, I'm spool gun. It ain't pretty, but it works. And yeah, screwed it into the wood around, so that stiffens it up, kind of finishes it off. Pretty much it for the back there. Oh, factory panels. I just stuffed insulation behind there. These are just some cheap magnetic window shades. They can stay right in place there. I'll show you while I'm back here. Exhaust. I have the diesel heater exhaust, just run with the factory exhaust. No spare tire because it's on the back. You can add, you know, eventually you could add. I've seen that storage trunk that Van Compass makes. That would be nice. But like I said, I'm selling it, so I don't need it now. Coin mat. I finished off these edges with a coin mat and aluminum angle. I did this bump out right here. This gives you a little more space, floor space. I could also set my Dometic CFX 28 right there. You got a tie down point. I have a 12-volt outlet on the side. Or I'd put the Dometic fridge, I'd tie it down to the L-track. Diesel heater, Chinese. It's not the S-bar. I just thought the S-bar for the, you know, for $1,000, I just thought that was a little excessive for what it was. Never had any issues with it. Yeah, it fires up every winter. Just push the button and she goes, and it'll literally keep it 90 degrees in here if it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit outside. No problem. It'll keep it as warm as you want in here. I'll hop up in here. We keep, this is just a like an entryway mat I got off Amazon. That's the right size. I forget, 3x5 or something. That just kind of finished it off. Mounts for another seat, so you can have up to 8, seat up to 8 in here. We generally ran it in this setup with the kids, have car seats. Just gives you, it's kind of like your living room area. So that's what we liked. We had it up here. We tried that. It just, you know, you got to kind of jimmy around the seat to get, it's kind of a pain. So this just opens it up. I did not make any sort of kitchen. I did consider that, but just takes up a lot of space. And for what we're doing, we're camping, we're outside the van most of the time. I just got this flip up table. It clicks, and this is teak. I finished off Amazon little mounts. They're nice. They say they'll hold like 600 pounds or something crazy like that, but you know, I would put 50 pounds on it. That's attached to the L-track there, so you could move it wherever you want. I got some pouches here. Bike pannier. idea. That's Wrangler Star off YouTube. I got that from him. They hook onto the little L-track fittings. Not for heavy items, for clothes, jackets. You know, it's not fully secure on there. That's just hanging. So those are Bushwhacker USA, Amazon. Like $60 for 2 of them. They're nice. They're metal. They fold up flat. If you don't want them, they got a little strap. So L-track on the top, the tops. Then I had it in the middle. You saw, have it on the bottom. So lots of options. Ceiling, I got this kind of quilted look. I really like that, actually. And just held in place with this aluminum thin strips to the ribs. Max fan, that's the auto 10-speed. Really nice. You can run it while you're driving, run it in the rain. It'll move plenty of air. I got flush mount LEDs. They are wired to a switch here. On, off, dimmer. Really like that. This is your heater control. I like this one. I had the big digital one at one point, but just, I don't know. It was kind of weird to use, and this is just, you know, anybody use it. On, dial. That's it. I'll shut the door here. Okay, so this is the factory panel that came, and I put a little cutout there for a little cubby. Covered that with your indoor-outdoor carpet insulation behind it. These are the insulated window shades you get off eBay. They're, yeah, work good. Magnets. This is it's stuck right to the metal there, and then I have this just aluminum piece kind of finish off the corner, because you're left with a gap there. How you make it, like the factory headliner actually follows this foam, so you gain quite a bit of space. This foam I left, it's kind of awkward to try to finish. I've seen people cut that, but I just left it. I don't think it looks too bad. Just finished, you know, right around it. Ran the aluminum there, so that's where your factory headliner, so that's where it stopped when I bought it. Yeah, worked. I kind of wish I wouldn't have done this. I smoothed off with a grinder, and I know that looks like crap. But it's, everything's removable. Like I said, plus nuts. You can take all this apart and run wires. This is handy too, because you can take this off and you can run wires behind that just for whatever. If you got to run some wires for something, that's handy. The bed is 5'8" wide, so I'm 5'7". I can lay side to side. Me and my wife could sleep on there. She's 5'2", so not a problem. We found it was best to sleep with your heads at the back windows. And we didn't have these headrests here because we had car seats, and you can let your feet kind of hang off. Worked good for us. If it's me by myself, kind of lay at an angle. I have cushions getting made currently. I don't have them yet. That they'll be nice. I did outdoor furniture fabric, so you can unzip it, wash it, and then I just thought easiest way would just be get a sleeping bag, queen size sleeping bag, whatever, and you don't have to screw around making a bed. I originally had like a cutout mattress topper, a thick one, but trying to make this bed is nearly impossible. Tuck sheets in and all that stuff. So that's what I found over several years of using it. That's the best way to do it. I keep this in basically all the time unless I'm hauling a dirt bike, because it kind of secures. If you have cargo back there, it kind of has you have a secure spot for it. So nothing can go flying around in an accident unless, obviously something could come through here, but for the most part, it's enclosed. Also, if I were to do this again, I bought these seats off eBay. A set of 3 seats, had 2 3-seaters, which I can run the other one here. Got seats up to 8. The 4-seater I actually sold, and then I got to think about it. You can mount them, and they mount in the same spots. I should have kept it. Then you have 4 seats wide. They're a little narrower, and then it's fully enclosed. This is nice. You got a little pass-through if you need to. The kids like screwing around in there. They can get through there. Our kids, they were 2 and 3 camping, so I just made a platform that laid across the driver passenger seat that's padded, and they would, one of them, sometimes 2, depending on what they were doing. One of them would sleep here. One would be in the bed with us. Worked fine. Like I said, we're not living in it. We're going camping one night. We would always just do one night. More than that, with kids, you got to move around. We would just generally, something to do on a weekend, and, some family time. What else in here? Oh, I'll show you the battery setup. I have 2 golf cart batteries under the hood, 2 6-volt, 2 16 amp hour wired in parallel. So I got 216 amp hours. Comes underneath the chassis up into the seat base, goes through this master shutoff, and then it goes to a fuse block right there. I have, I think, let's see, I got 6 circuits. You can add 6 more. I have a battery monitor right here that'll tell you voltage, amp, how many amps are coming in, how many are going out, how your total amp hours. I'll wake it up here. So, see, I'm drawing 0.09 right now just from your, these backlights and stuff. Total amp hours, 215.5. So, percentage, push here, 99.9. But only way it charges is off the alternator. Works, that's all we need. You could do solar panels pretty easily. I would do the hood-mounted solar panels, and then you got your batteries right on the hood. Everything's right there. But for us, we would, like I said, we'd go one night. These batteries will run the fridge for like a week straight. It would run that heater for couple days probably. This is a carbon monoxide alarm, so all you guys talking about how the Chinese heater is gonna, blow carbon monoxide and kill everybody. Well, there you got a carbon monoxide alarm. That's hardwired. Let's see here. I have a swivel seat on the passenger seat. I don't on the driver because at least this style swivel, I don't like how it raises the seat. I know you can get the Alpine one, but then you still can't get to my fuse panel if you blow a fuse. So they do have ones, I believe, that you'd be able to reach down through to get to the fuse. Say you blew a fuse when you're camping, you're not going to unbolt the seat. So that is, one thing about having all your electronics under there. But I like everything's tucked away. I don't have anything in the back. In a few minutes, I can convert this to literally a full cargo van. Seat pops out. You saw how the bed panels pop out. And yeah, pretty happy with this setup. Let's see. Should be about it for the inside, I believe. Okay, we're under the hood now. Just wanted to show you the battery setup. Like I said, 2 6-volt batteries available anywhere. I think they're 120 bucks each. I made them out. You can buy them, but this was pretty easy to make. Angle iron. There's a guy online, if you search it, shows you how to make them. This is your factory jump start lead, 0-auge wire. It clamps there on the airbags. That's how you jump start it, because your battery's under your feet, the driver feet. So you lose that jump start, but everything's right here. You can still jump start it right from that if you want. You could even jump start it from this battery to this battery if you need to. This is an isolator right there. It tells you what it does. 13.4, your vehicle battery. Then it starts sending power through. When you shut the van off, when your vehicle battery gets to 12.9, it cuts this off, so you'll never draw these down, or you'll never draw the vehicle battery down. So I have a circuit breaker here, 100 amp, a lot nicer than fuses. You just push the button. That's the shunt. That's how your battery monitor gets its data or whatever. That just goes on the ground, and then there's just this runs your monitor, and you just have to have power to go to it. So other than that, yeah, that's it for that. And I will show you one other thing. This is I have this, the guy on eBay sells these. They fit in the factory spot there, and then you hold this little rocker switch for your lights, so it pops right in there, 3D printed thing. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You can see I got these pouches here. I got those off eBay. Those are handy. Other than that, yeah, it's been really happy with the van. Gonna miss it. I will build another one, like I said, someday. But that's pretty much it. If anybody's got any questions, leave them in the comments. And that's just what we've done after 6 years of owning a Sprinter. And yeah, the low roof. I like the look. I always like the look of the low roof. The high roofs they're just too big. This is just over 8 foot tall. You can fit in a drive-through. Obviously, if you're living in a van, yeah, you want the high roof. But for what we do, this is nice for camping, whatever. Yeah, you can fit in most drive-throughs. It's just over 8 feet tall. Still huge. There's nothing on the road that's going to be as tall as you like as far as vehicles. A tractor trailer you're sitting close to on the highway. Really nice driving down the highway, you know, being up high. You can see over people. But yeah, that's the setup. So yeah, like I said, any questions, leave them below. Thanks. Bye.